report's there, so have a look at it. What I will do now, though, is I want to start off with our hot seat. So very excited about this. Valerie and Jerry, hopefully you're on the line. And just want to go through, I mean, Valerie and Jerry have been with us for a while now, and I call them veterans, and great, of course, back then, total newbies at this. Held a couple of stocks in the past, sort of didn't do too much and didn't see a future of it. But however, it's just exciting to see their progress over basically over the past year. So without further ado, I'm gonna put Valerie in line. Valerie, if you just check that, make sure that your mic's okay, and I'll just check into your mic. Okay. Hello, Valerie, and yeah. Jerry, you there?
Yeah,
he's here too.
Hi, Terry, how you doing?
Oh, awesome, Jerry. I haven't spoken to you for a while.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Hopefully, this picture is okay of you both in Japan. That's the last photo that I took. So
it's not too bad.
Okay, I was going to ask you for another one today, but I thought no, that's more than sufficient. It was actually a nice photo, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. That's right.
Yeah, awesome. So what I might do is I'll just get straight into it. So Valerie and Jerry, you can both take turns. My first question that I want to, at least firstly, just introduce yourself. Where are you actually from, and what do you do for a living?
We live in the Redlands, which is Brisbane Bayside suburb. Yep. We're down here. I'm self-employed bookkeeper, BAS agent, payroll consultant. That's the sort of stuff I do. Jerry's a boilermaker, and yeah, that's what we do.
Okay. So how, in actual fact, I think I've got a rough idea, but how long have you so far been with the Freedom Trader Blueprint, and what's your experience been so far?
We joined it, it was about February. I think I looked it up. It's like February. I saw your first one I saw that first came across my emails, and then it came out again, and Jerry and I both looked at it in the February, and we joined up, and we went. It took about 2 months to go through the process, but we quite enjoyed it. We did our first trade. I think it was I opened up the IB account late March, and April we started trading. Though we're a bit slow and a few mistakes.
We made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, we did make a few mistakes, but we sort of got around it, and then it's really since about June. And I think the spreadsheet I sent you was really from July. That's just nerdy me. Everything, my year goes from 1st of July. So, yeah, so I'm quite happy. We still did make a small profit the first few months.
Okay, so essentially you started officially, you said March, April of last year, would that be right? 2017?
Correct, yes.
So in other words, it's actually been a 1 year anniversary now, in a way.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
And the IB, they send you like a portfolio, like a report. That was, I think, on the anniversary date, that was about 16%, which I was quite happy with. That's like unrealized ones and everything too. So I was quite chuffed with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one thing that people forget too is, they go, okay, it's only 16% or whatever, but what people I think what people forget is, it's what I call risk adjusted returns, because to achieve that as well, a lot of times within that year, you're also a lot of the times you're also in cash. So in actual fact, the risk, you were never 100% exposed to the market literally every single day in the market. Say if you're in a match fund, for example, and you also got 16%. In actual fact, there's actually a higher risk in that, because potentially at any point in time, your portfolio could have dropped, gone down dramatically, and yet you wouldn't have the flexibility. Whereas in this case, the percentage gain that you've been able to get, it's risk adjusted, because most of the times, you're holding cash and taking advantage of opportunities, and there's nothing there, for your risk is minimized dramatically as well.
Oh, totally. We've been down that track.
So we're more than happy with 15%. That's brilliant.
Yeah. No, I'm actually extremely happy. Yeah, I mean, 16%. In anything for me, people say, what am I happy with? I personally, myself, I've always aimed for 15 to 25. You know, some years I get it, some years I don't. But you know, some years I might get even, you know, there are actually some years where I've gone negative for our funds, like -5, -6. It's happened. And then the following years, you know, we do 30% plus, 35% plus. But they are years that what I call extraordinary years, and I never base it on that, saying, oh, you know, join our funds, whatever, we do 35% per annum, which is, you know, not true. So it's just being able to average out that 15 to 25 every single year, and you actually do quite fine. So anything really above 10 for me, double digits, is actually awesome.
Yeah,
exactly. I get that at the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's also comparing, you know, relative terms, comparing, you know, what are we actually getting in cash sitting on the bank anyway? Hardly anything. Yeah. The question that next I've got is, you know, before Blueprint, you know, what type of frustrations did you actually experience in regards to investing, you know, investing in general?
Well, prior to Blueprint, we had a few shares, but generally we had advisors. We had some money through brokers and advisors, and we were quite frustrated. And that was sort of around the GFC time, and we did lose quite a lot of money there and changed advisors, and it was all that frustration of not being able to, not having control or asking for something to happen, and it always seemed to take such a long time. But at the end of the day, we took it all back probably a year or 18 months or so ago, and then so we got all control of it ourselves, and then we took on the Blueprint system, and it's and we both sort of work on it together and quite happy with results.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know, so what process are you actually using, Valerie and Jerry, at the moment? Is it basically the system itself?
Yeah, we pretty well follow your lead with our buys and sells. We pay a lot of attention to your weekly and fortnightly, you know, buys and sells. But even if with our own
System,
we basically just go by your basic stock buying chart checklist.
Yep.
We do that. We scan on Guru Focus for smart money, and literally go down and we fill out your guidelines for fundamental stock assessment, and then we'll do your market assessment and your technical stock assessment.
Yeah.
We'll
and the multiplier, your evaluator, we definitely we sort of
go through Guru Focus and crunch the numbers, and then we basically have a look after that and see which way we go. And if the numbers add up, we'll go, or not really.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, nothing particularly. We just follow the rules.
Follow the system that you've got, and I like, you know, the KISS principle. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. Yeah, no, it's also really good. Oh, sorry to butt in, Jerry. I was actually going to say it's also very good because some of, you know, obviously I've got your spreadsheet, which I'm going to share with people. That what would I call it? Some of the, you know, the investments that you've made as well that you just mentioned, they're also different from mine as well. So in other words, you're finding things that I'm not finding, and yet being able to follow the system and get into those, which is great to see.
Yeah,
and that's generally through FinViz, I think. Some of, you know, a lot of those are just through FinViz, and then some of the ones that we did earlier, because we've been doing it for a little while, you tend to get your favourite stocks like, you know, Skyworks and you know, the ones that you sort of
BIIB and
we
do have our
sort of
favourites.
like,
and a lot of the times, even if we've traded it before, we'll still crunch the numbers. We'll know the company. Yeah, we know it's good, but we'll still crunch the numbers again to see what the value is. Yeah. And I think that's pretty important as well. So, well, yeah, it's nothing. It's and for me, because I've had no financial training or anything, being a tradesman, it's all there in front of you. You literally fill the form out and go from there. You know, it's really, it's all there for you.
And we have just basically two folders that we keep. The ones when we've sold them, we put them in one, and then we may pull it out again and update it, you know, with Guru Focus. We don't actually have the paid version; we just have the free version.
Yeah, okay.
and we just update that. So I know that sometimes, we get slightly different figures, I think, but and they don't, it's not always positive, but if it's sort of close and and there's smart money and you may have invested in it too.
We definitely do that. We do check out your
buy list.
Buy list and also the stocks that you take.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the first things.
Yeah, Jerry, I might just get you on your mic. Sorry, Jerry, just to break you in. Valerie's very clear on your end. You're a bit muffled for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah. So so we look at smart money first. That's probably the first thing we do. Smart money, and to see if you've held the stock before.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, it's actually it's a good thing what you just said, because generally what I find is it actually gets easier because over time you end up having sort of your favorite stocks that you've been buying and selling anyway. So you tend to understand it over time a little bit more and more. So and then you really don't need to expand your universe to everything, really, because and it's just staying within that bundle of what even Warren Buffett says, circle of competence. That defining that circle and how big the circle is, and if you just within that circle of competence and still achieve the returns, why go risky and go somewhere else if you don't need to? Yeah. So no, thank you for that. So what would your typical day actually look like? How much time and focus do you actually spend on your what I call the freedom portfolio?
We get up at about 4:45. We'll literally go through what we've got. We've got a pretty good idea of what we're going to buy or sell, but the day changes. You never know. I head off for work at about 5:30. Right. So Valerie will usually.
What was that, Barry?
We've each our own computer. We look at. We always go through each. We hold about 50.
Valerie, I actually can't hear you at the moment.
Oh, sorry. I think it's because we're moving. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We go through each stock individually every morning, each of us, and then we sort of know what's probably going to be bought and sold, and then if something has to be done, I place the orders. Sometimes I will sell straight away. I won't because lately I've had to do that for cash reasons. And I'll often sell, but I always buy market on close. I set that, and then I go for a walk, come back, and then fill out the trade diary and do that sort of thing. And then in the afternoons, Jerry will go over it again when he gets home often. And I
quite often go through the entire list of our and that way I know what is a buy and a sell, but also, as you know, you can tell what's coming up, what's sort of going down, and you sort of, so I just write a list in a book. I've probably got about 15 or 20 of them today, and then I'll put a little mark beside the ones that I want to pay attention to the next day. But it's really, half an hour or so in the morning, maybe a little bit more. In the afternoons, it depends, So with the market the way it has been lately, sometimes we've got no cash, there's nothing to buy, there's nothing to sell, so I just walk away, have a beer. That's the way it is. But now we're trying to get we've got a little bit more cash, so we're looking again. So it sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but on the whole, it's not a lot of time out of your day. It's good. It's good.
And so and it's actually even from what you're saying, I've seen the amount of investments and trades that you've put through, which is quite a fair bit, and that's been quite active in terms of spending 30 minutes an hour a day. So
that's where I'm pretty lucky, because Valerie's I'm not very technical on the buying and the selling side of things, the mechanics of the computer side of things. Valerie's a bookkeeper; she can do it in a flash. Whereas I take a lot longer.
You do it on Saturday sometimes.
I take a lot longer. So we're pretty lucky that way.
We do share it.
And we do share it. But, I'm lucky that Valerie's in the position that she is, where she can do that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I always believe, you know, a husband and wife team is always more powerful than yourself. So, you know, if you both share the same passion, it's awesome.
Probably one of the interesting things about both of us doing it is that we can bounce things off each other, and sometimes it might be completely wrong, and I'll be completely wrong. And Valerie said, "Well, hey, no, look at the RSI, the STO, or whatever." Is that, oh, it's 4:45 in the morning. Of course, that's right. You know, so it is. Yeah, I think it is good. So yeah, I think it is good to bounce it off someone else. You know?
No, thank you for that. And so you know, what impact and outcome has Blueprint and Inner Circle provided towards your future so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's
see a light at the end of the tunnel from where we were before, going nowhere and even backwards. And also, it's you know, we like to travel. That's, you know, and what we like to do. And like we took, when we went to Indonesia last year, took my little laptop, and I could actually do some of my paid work, some of my work over there while I was away. And then we bought and sold some shares while we were over there and just moving around. And it was it was easy. It was interesting. Like I've heard you say before, we had to learn to do open because of the timing. It was like a 9:30, you know, it was an Asia thing, 9:30 close. So we did it, I mean, open in the evening. So we swapped around, and it is different doing it that way from the morning, but we really enjoyed that and sort of looked at it. And if you miss a day, well, you know, you don't have to do it every day, but it's just an easy thing to do. I think one of your lines I saw in one of your seminars or something was have Wi-Fi.
Where there's Wi-Fi, there's wealth.
Yeah, that's right. Where there's Wi-Fi, there's wealth. I liked that.
Yeah, and it's actually very true. Once you've got Wi-Fi with a laptop anywhere around the world, you can still do it. So yeah,
I think it's really quite good too, in that you can do it anywhere. As you know, we've been to the beach on Stratty camping, and we've run out the computer off batteries, and we can buy and sell shares sitting on the beach. Last weekend we went to northern New South Wales on our motorbike, put the laptop in the back of on the motorbike, and sitting at a pub on Saturday morning buying and selling shares. You know, it's and I had my own business repairing heavy transport for a lot of years from a boilermaker, and the amount of just hard work and hard graft, as anyone with their own business knows, compared to something like this, where you can just open your laptop an hour or so in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon or whatever, and off you go. It's a fantastic thing. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, what I might do now is I'm going to quickly just bring up your spreadsheet. What I have done though is I've removed you know, I know you gave me dollar figures, that sort of thing, but I wanted to you know, protect your privacy, so I've removed that and just focus more on so you know, people can, depending on whatever, everyone's got different portfolio sizes. So just showing sharing the type of returns since literally day one that Jerry and Valerie's been able to achieve. So just from looking at, you know, of course, all major companies, nothing ridiculously risky, so to speak. So it's just you know, very, you know, from single digit to double digits here and there, and you know, a couple of very outstanding ones from the BlackBerry 1724 and 1412s. A mixture of everything. And then there's the Chipotle, which is very similar to myself, where, you know, there was a mistake made, and of course there's 3 of them, so really not too much lost from what I'm seeing here. And if I just keep on scrolling down, just a big mixture of you know, a lot of capital gains, sprinkled with, you know, a little bit of losses here and there, very, very minimal. I mean, minus 1.5% here, minus 0.3% there. And if I just scroll down, another one here, but then that's multiple positions anyway. So overall, this position would have been a profitable position on the biotech.
That was actually, we had stop loss. That had a stop loss. Yeah. That's when I put stop losses on, and then I've stopped doing that.
Right. And then there's MBIA as well, 24, 27. Another small loss here at Merck, but which really didn't mean much because there's multiple positions on that, because the next one was at 9% capital gain. And another small one, -1. Philip Morris, another one. But then another position that sort of bounced.
Actually, we got that right, because if you have a look at the price, we're looking at it today, and it's down about 20% on what we sold it. So we just dumped it, and I think we did the right thing.
Yeah. No, sometimes you just you just walk away and don't worry so much about that. It's as long as everything's all controlled.
Position size.
Yeah, it's always hindsight, so you just go, okay, that's fine. And if it spikes, then it's above there now. It's above where you sold it. It's okay, because you just move on, and there's there's more to come. But I won't go through. Yeah, basically in the end, there's about 200-ish investments so far. On average, what's been achieved, which is extraordinary. Every single investment, even on my own, it's in that vicinity of 5.6 as well. So you're sitting in that 5.6. Annualized 79, average position size 1.2, on average less than 2 months, 56 days. Total 206 investments made, 184 correct, and sitting at 89.3, which is extraordinary. So I just want to congratulate you. Great result. I think it's just your consistency of application, and that's allowed you to to create what you've created. And just even looking at a lot of the stocks that I don't hold, and I'm seeing that in the list as well, which is great to see.
Yeah, we do. Anyone that puts them up, we'll have a look at what their stocks are. And
position sizing is important. I think that's the whole key, is the position sizing. And
definitely. Position size allows you to pick up more stuff, because then you don't run out of cash, but it also allows you to potentially average down a little bit, and your subsequent positions will cover an earlier loss if need be. So
yes, we actually bought, it's not on there because I bought it this morning, was LEN, because we didn't sell it. I know you sold out, but we sort of missed that. So I've got another one that I thought it was right this morning, so I took another position on that, which will average it out and hopefully get another return. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, so any particular lessons, from your journey so far, because it's been a good journey, any particular lessons which stands out in this year?
It's that position sizing again, really. I think it's just to learn the system, stick to it, and keep your position sizing. Learn to be a bit more patient, because I'm the impatient one, really. So a little bit better at that. I'm impetuous at times. But we just jumped in and started, and I set it all up. Just go for it.
Okay. And where do you see you going with your investing and trading this year and beyond?
Oh, as far as we can.
Yeah, it's just the same as waiting for that compounding to take effect, really. That's really all it is. I can't see any changing anything we're doing, and it's really just a matter of steady as she goes, and just hopefully. It has been harder that, I think it was great that it was a bit of a bull market when we started last year, but there's still, as you said, opportunities this year. I've sort of, I just have to learn to be a little more patient, But that's.
Yeah, this year is definitely a slightly different year, where a little bit more patience because of a little bit more happenings, between different countries. So, but no matter what, there's always opportunities here and there, no matter whatever happens. So that's why I love this game so much. Tony's actually typed in fabulous results for Valerie and Jerry, and very inspirational. So thanks, Tony, for that.
And Tony's was quite inspirational as well. I quite enjoyed.
I think all our members are within our inner circle, one, helping each other, but also just being able to share the results, and that inspires newbies and veterans alike. I actually classify anybody that's been in Blueprint for over a year now, I classify as a veteran, because you've done enough investments and trades that it's almost automatic now. So I call you a veteran.
It is automatic.
It does definitely gets easier.
Yeah, it gets easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you just look at them and see. And we do look at each one individually each morning, generally.
It's like you said with the watch list, you know, I can sort of flick through it now, and I don't even look at the name of the company. I just look at the RSI and the STO, and I just keep flicking through them.
Yeah.
And and it's almost automatic now. As soon as I see something below, you know, below your 30 or your 40, and then I click onto it and have a look, whatever it is.
Yeah, correct. It's because, and it's also because, you know, you've done the work on the research of the companies you want anyway, so you know you want them, and it's just now just waiting for the confirmation of the technical side to actually finally either buy or sell it. So so you're just combining, you know, the importance of fundamental plus the technicals, and then that just changes everything. Yeah, makes life so much easier.
Yes, and I'm the one, I do that scan, the buy scan. Jerry does look at them a bit more the day before, but often, yeah, I don't have an exit scan set up. I don't use that because we look at them individually. But you flick through them and you sort of, your brain is looking for that signal of the RSI and the STO.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling Rodney, that, you know, you get used to that, and it doesn't even take long. It's only literally 2 or 3 minutes, and it's done. Even if you've got a list of 50 stocks, it's very quick.
Yes, well, it's all sort of done. Really, we do it sort of 4:45 to 5. I know, but that's we actually didn't like it when there was daylight saving, because it was really weird, because Jerry still had to leave at 5:30, but the market didn't close till 7 o'clock, and that was actually quite hard. Or I had to sort of make a decision. Changed so much in that hour and a half, but there's nothing he could do because he had to, you know. So I quite like it now that daylight saving.
Okay. Any particular actions or you know, takeaway actions that you could share with the group right now? There's about 60 people listening, by the way.
Oh dear. It's really just what you said. You said earlier. It's just position sizing, learn the system, and practice, I guess.
Practice and probably keep your portfolio active. You know, just keep the money moving around.
As long as the rules.
Just and don't listen to the news or the visual TV and the noise. Don't let the noise get in the way of what you're trying to do.
We do get the Wall Street.
Yeah, I mean, the only news that I really look at in the end, and I think you just mentioned Wall Street Journal. That's the only one that I really look at. The rest I just let go. It's just it doesn't give you an advantage by listening to the news. So that's a good thing.
It's very
I have enough emails come across my desk.
And I guess what's that?
No, that's okay.
Yeah. So just final question. Would you recommend others join Blueprint and continue the inner circle journey? Oh,
for sure. I think it's one of those things. Once you start doing it, you'll realise. I'm not going to say how easy it is, but it's all there for you. You know, the forms, the tools you can use, to find the information. And that was probably where our biggest problem with the before, when we were going through brokers, we had no control. We didn't know what sort of stocks to pick, whereas now you can, and it's a control thing. You have your own control. You have control of what you're doing.
Blueprint sort of teaches you the system, and the inner circle gives you that little bit of extra confidence of where to go and cut through a lot of the red tape, gives you a focus, and it just makes it simple I just found it quite simple. I know I do have that sort of financial background, but and the fundamentals in that, they sort of made sense. But, you know, initially I never even thought about trading US, but it makes so much sense. And Jerry, who doesn't really have that financial background, found it quite easy and quite enjoyable. So
sometimes I think I'm the only Boilermaker trading on the US stock market.
You never know.
No, to anyone out there, just jump in and do it, and start trading.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, because I know I remember your very first testimonial for me was I think there was 3 profits, and there was a quote from Jerry which said actual money in the bank, and now it's later. It's actually basically almost 200 investments made that are profitable. So it's no longer 3 that you initially started off with. So it's been a good journey, and your skill level can continue on now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just getting easier. Well,
yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. It gets easier from the process point of view. You know, I mean, the markets.
That's what I meant. The process is easier.
Yeah.
Easier, so they get used to on board.
Yeah. No, awesome. Yeah. So No. So thank you guys for your time and just allowing us to share your journey, and hopefully that inspires. And I'm getting a lot of messages, from thank you for the inspiration. So and that's why I do these interviews on a monthly basis, just to provide. There's one hand to to show the process, and but I want to show also the amount of successes that our members are having. Like I've got now it's over 300+ students now, and all our students are sending me spreadsheets, so I know what the students are achieving. So I just want to make sure that that inspires anybody who's either just starting or they've started but they haven't actually fully got into it, but just to finally get into it, because it works. So therefore these interviews just helps make that journey a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, we're more than happy to do that.
No, great. No, thank you for that. So I know there's a couple of questions coming through. What I'll do is I'll leave those questions for our next session, which is going to be a Q&A anyway. So so just want to say formally thank you guys, and I will talk to both of you very soon again.
Yeah, pleasure. No worries. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Valerie. Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, thank you.